Okay, everyone, we have an extraordinary social innovator, inclusion activist up next. Please welcome Carlos Pereira, who is the CEO and founder of Livox, software which helps empower people living with disabilities. Thank you. Welcome, Carlos.
Good morning. I would like to start by asking a question to you guys. Do you believe in love at first sight? Well, I do. This is a photo of my daughter when she was born, and due to a medical mistake during my wife's labor, she has cerebral palsy. So she can't walk and she can't speak. And there are at least 300 million people like my daughter Clara. This is like the whole population of the United States. These are people with stroke, autism, ALS, many diseases and disabilities that prevent them from speaking. And since from the moment that I found out about my daughter's situation, empowering people with disabilities became a passion for me. And out of this passion, I created Livox. Livox is a solution for Android tablets that enables people with disabilities to communicate and to learn. And there are many alternative communication devices out there. But what makes Livox unique is three things. The first one, let me go this way. The first one is award-winning algorithms. The second one is machine learning and natural language processing. And the third one is reports and feedback. Let me tell you first about our award-winning algorithms. Have you ever seen the hands of a person with a motor disability? They are more or less like this. They don't touch on a touch screen device like we do. They touch with their whole hands, they drag their fingers, they do involuntary touches. And in order to solve that, we created an algorithm called Livox IntelliTouch that as soon as a person with disability touches the screen, it analyzes its touch and it corrects the imperfect touch of people with disabilities. But let's talk a little bit about machine learning and natural language processing. This is a regular alternative communication device available here in the United States. And it's quite overwhelming. There are dozens of items on a single screen. It's really complicated to find what you want to say. Even for us, we don't have any disabilities, but it's really hard to use this. And how is Livox different? Well, we use machine learning natural language processing for that. I can just talk to my daughter, and I can say something like, Clara, how many spoons of sugar you want in your coffee? Livox listens to this, and we use natural language processing to understand that the answer is a number, so she can say, I would like 3 spoons of sugar, or maybe a little bit more. Maybe she's at school, and her teacher can ask, Clara, is this book about a dog, a cat, or a rabbit? Livox understands that, and then it shows the options so she can communicate. There is no need to memorize these questions. We also provide report and dashboards for governments and institutions so they can track the improvements of users over time, and we analyze every user of Livox in 5 different categories. And we are present now in 11 countries. The software is available in 25 languages. I wanted to show this photo to you guys. There are much more photos, but they said me to put fewer photos. So I wanted to show this because we are deploying technology, high technology, even in developing countries like Djibouti, for example. Yes, it's possible. So every person with disability can have their own voice. These are some of our partners, like MIT Solve, Google.org, WEF, and we are working towards 3 of the SDGs, good health, quality in education, and reduce inequalities. And our ask to you guys here, and you guys that are watching me, is partnerships with governments and institutions to distribute Livox to those who need it, funding for research, because we open source our breakthroughs in machine learning, natural language processing, and so every person with a disability can have their own voice. I guess that you guys are curious to see how is Clara today. This is a very recent photo of Clara. She's 12 years old now, and she's a brilliant little girl. And through Livox, we could see how smart she is, and she's doing really great. This is my contact info, guys. Get in touch so every person with disability can have a voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. We know addressing the needs of people with disabilities is a critical aspect of the SDGs, and thank you for everything you're doing. And we could welcome our acceleration partners on stage. You should go down closer to them. Same. Introduce yourselves and your organization and before you ask your question.
Great. Hi, my name is Nina Sharma. I'm the managing director at Project Excite, which is the innovation and entrepreneurship program at the University of Denver. With my university hat on, I think that there's a lot of opportunity for universities to help you develop more tech or help you scale this product. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you're already doing with universities and how we can tap into university networks here in the US to help move you along.
Okay, we have partnerships with a few universities already. There is one university in my home state in Brazil, Pernambuco, the Universidade Federal of Pernambuco, and we are also partners with WPI, the Worcester Polytechnic Institute, and now we are working with these students, and their code is amazing. And as a small startup, this helps us a lot to keep our costs low and at the same time have amazing coders working with us.
Hi, my name is Steph Hannon. I'm a product leader from places like Google, Facebook, and Strava. Carlos, I admire so much what you're doing, and we got to spend a bunch of time together on Sunday, and one thing I think is special is how grounded it is in research, how much your team has spent time working in facilities and clinics serving people with disabilities, and that you actually told me they're, by design, everyone spends half a day a week volunteering and just getting to know the people they're trying to serve, and that's powerful. So my question to you is, it's really important to know if it's working or not. How do you think about metrics to tell you how your solution is going?
Absolutely. We are being used by many governments, and we provide tools so they can see if the users are really using Livox in many different metrics. We analyze every user of Livox in 5 different categories, and because, you know, the metrics for people with disabilities are different than the regular metrics for regular kids, for example. So we worked with therapists and professionals to work on these metrics to make sure that the users are being evaluated. And then, if you are a mayor or maybe a director of a school or something like that, or institution, you can see the actual improvement of users over time by using Livox.
Hi, my name is Matabani from Startup Bootcamp, based in Cape Town, South Africa, and we're a Pan-African Accelerator Program. Carlos, what you're doing is fantastic, and I really want to know more about what partnerships you need to make it grow exponentially, because you're literally putting, tech into a healthcare setting, and you're making it much more affordable and accessible for people who cannot have tech. So we need more of what you're doing. So what partnerships are needed for you to achieve this?
Yeah, we need partnerships with governments and institutions that distribute solutions for people with disabilities or learning impairments, but also with funders, philanthropists who want to help us. Let me tell you this. I guess you guys, all of us know here the late Stephen Hawking, and he was a brilliant mind, and he was disabled, and he could show how brilliant he was through a device similar to Livox. How many Stephen Hawkings we have out there that are still lost? And this week here, everyone is talking about Greta Thunberg. And have you ever thought if we could have people with disabilities having their own voice so they could advocate for things like climate change, about financing, sanitation, and etc., but they can't now because they don't even have a voice. And we need to work towards helping them so they can have their own voice, so they can advocate for themselves and for the things that matter.